All right. Nice. Yep. It's going live now. Okay, guys. We're getting going here. Apologize. There's an independent button, and I pushed it this time. I guess you have to push it twice. But anyway, so you missed
All right.
our good little intro. Probably going to turn that slide down uh, on the YouTube. So we'll get going here. You know how it normally works. I try to explain what's happening and get all my stuff out, and then we'll answer some questions. If you're, let me see, let me slide down here. First of all, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Arthur's helping us out on cracking a beer. I can't drink any right now. I'm having some pancreatitis. So it's 5 o'clock somewhere. He's gonna pop one top for us. If you
Yep,
got
yep,
one,
yep.
we're
Drink
gonna.
local. Drink local. I got me a. I'm up in Maryland right now, so I got me something from DeClaw Brewing, and I've got one of their stouts.
Okay. Let's see, guys. You can comment now where you're from, and then you can comment also for those that watch this in the replay. You can also comment in there, and I answer a lot of most of my comments. Seldom that I don't. So any comments in there, I'm gonna go through this right quick, and then first, I want to introduce my co-host here, Arthur from Kayak Seven Seas. You've seen Arthur in a couple of my videos, as well as let's see, we've done North Carolina together. We've been in Florida together. Pretty cool. Your channel's Kayak Seven Seas. Tell us a little bit about your channel real quick, Arthur.
All right. Well, I'm primarily a kayaking channel, but as we've evolved from kayaking, we've started becoming more of a travel channel as well. So our focus is mostly finding places to kayak. But while we're there, we may check out some of the local sites, such as some of the lighthouses in the area, museums, aquariums, just anything that we find interesting. And we travel to, we vlog it, and hopefully people will find it enjoyable.
Pretty cool. Now I know you got one of my favorite videos is the one where you're in the cave. You kayak up into the cave.
Yeah, that was a unique video there. That's one of my best viewed videos too. What it is up in Kentucky. There's this old limestone mine that it got flooded, and so therefore they could no longer produce any limestone out of it. And so as it traded hands, and one of the buyers eventually turned it into a unique kayaking experience, and it's a pretty cool place. There's two different entrances, so you have different companies running tours through there, and it's a really unique place to kayak.
Cool. Okay, y'all check out his channel. I got his channel name pinned in the comments there, and then I'll get on in. You can, like I said, tell us where you're from. I'll come back through to the comments when we get done here real quick. First of all, those that remember that watched some of the videos, I had already dropped off my propellers and strut to General Propeller in Bradenton, Florida, to get them repaired, and they are no good. According to the place, both the propellers are too thin, and the strut is too pink. Now that's kind of strange, but apparently when they sandblast the paint and everything off of them, if the electrolysis that occurs turns it pink. When I go over there, I'm gonna actually shoot a video about that because I've been around boats for many years and I really don't understand that. So I'm gonna, pretty much question them about it, shoot a little short deal about that. But so that comes to that I got to have a new strut and new propellers, and I've been on pushing hard now trying to find those. A strut is $1,200. I wasn't counting on that. And propellers, they're anywhere from $300 a piece minimum, unless someone happens to have one laying around. My propellers are 18 by 18 1/4 inch shafts. So I do have, if y'all remember when I hit rocks in Okeechobee, I have one propeller I'm going to take over there. I'm not feeling excited about it. It only has one of the ears bent, but based on what they're saying. So anyways, there's a lot more expenditure coming than what I thought. So that's going to drive a couple of things. Let's see. I want to say that I want to put this up real quick. There's a tackle man. I'm not sure if he's on here or not. He sent me several emails for used carvers because, you know, we were looking at trying to maybe find an old carver and then rob parts off of it. None of them were really close enough that it warranted going to pick them up, but I appreciate him, and that's why I wanted to give him a shout out. I appreciate him taking the time and sending them. I have been online too looking, but I've talked with a very trusted friend of mine, and he's actually going to end up being on some of these because I got to tell you, as far as knowledge, he is the most knowledgeable person I know about boats. And I know a little bit about boats. And this guy knows the East Coast, the waters to the Bahamas, up. As a matter of fact, he's getting ready to leave from the Keys and going up somewhere up the river, Tennessee Tom, somewhere up there to do some work on his boat, some, you know, painting and stuff like that. But we'll have him on there. But anyways, we discussed it. And he told me a story where he had a strut, and the strut something wrapped around it, and it broke the strut. Now rope broke the strut, which is metal, but he said that the most likely reason was it already had fractures in it, and that these older struts that can happen. So, you know, I thought about it, and with looking at ones online, you never know exactly what you're getting. So I about just decided I'm gonna have to bite the bullet on that one and get it new, because what a disaster it would be to get a used one or get mine somehow straightened, get underway, and then that thing breaks again. That would just be, it would actually end up costing me more money in the long run, because then I'd have to haul out, find one. And he told me when that happened to him, it took 2 weeks just to get it. They had to make it. Like, these are not things that just sit on shelves very much as you when you start checking. So long story short, that's adding to my list of things to do. And then finally, I actually got some good news today. If y'all remember, let's see, the place that I bought some parts from, and I'm going to do a little video on them if all things work out as well, at Basic Power Industries. They're up in Parker's Island, North Carolina. We're getting some feedback somewhere. Arthur, I don't know if it's your other line.
Better?
Yes, that's better. They just finally told me today, in trying to figure out exactly which one it is, there's a lot of variation of these things. And it's a velvet drive, and what we can determine 1 to 9.1 is the reduction. It's a 71C or 72C. They change depending upon the rotations. And, you know, I have a counter rotating engine. And so long story short, he said, even if we can't get it new, which is $1,200, or if you want it new, it's $1,200. He said, but we do about 15 a week here. And he said, we'll probably have a good used one when you come by, and it'll be 60% of cost. So that was some good news. And then I have mine here because, you know, I brought it back so I could try to, you know, match it up. And I didn't even know until doing more research how different they can be. Like, I didn't know today, I just learned about a little sleeve that's inside of mine that they don't all have. And that makes a big difference. So just FYI, that one may end up being around $600-700 versus $1,200. So that adds, you know, a significant amount to it. I say all that to say already. Then we have the issues of fuel costs. Now, I'm not giving up. I'm steady pushing forward. I got to do some things to cover my costs. Mountain Man Jim Reddick, when he and I talk a lot, and this year is truly going to be like I set a budget of money I take with me, but I don't know what that budget's going to be because I don't know what the fuel cost is going to be. I don't know where it's going to end up. At this point, it's a true adventure of starting out in Chesapeake and going as far as I can go on my budget. That's just the way it's going to end up being. So I would like to this season get all the way around, up to Chesapeake, up past Jersey, up New York, past New York into Hudson, turn into the Erie Canal, make it all the way to the Great Lakes, and then down to Chicago and then out into rivers. That's where I hope to be this season, if all works out. Now I'm going to share a quick thing here. This is such a cool software. It allows me to share things that I wasn't able to do before. And that was the wrong one, but let me switch back to this one. Okay. Okay. Mug Club. I'm going to be pushing Mug Club for this year. It obviously helped out last year. And I want to give you some benefits of if you want to join the Mug Club of some things I can do differently. One of the things that has been removed from here is I used to send out links to the videos where they get to see it first, but I can't do that anymore. I found out that was killing my algorithm because I would put it out and a lesser amount of people would see it for 24 hours. And so it would drive down my numbers and therefore YouTube wouldn't show it. I tested it the other day and that thing did about 3 times better by just doing putting it out to regular. So FYI, that's not on here. Coffee mug, of course, extra member only videos. If you're in the Mug Club, I'm going to turn out videos just for them. Here's one that people were asking for, which will happen this year, real-time follow good times on Nebo. So you'll be able to see where the boat is pretty much 24/7. And then 3 a.m., not 3 a.m. in the morning, but 3 in the a.m. hour, before noon, updates weekly on non-moving days. So, when I'm moving, I'm always going to live stream that for just general YouTube. But then there'll be days when I'm at anchor or whatever, and I'll, put up the drone. And it's basically a way people want additional information. That's a great way to get it. So this is one thing I'm pushing for 100 mugs this year. That's kind of what my goal is. Let's see. Now, the next thing I'm going to do, which I've had interest in, and I just wasn't able to put it together. This year, I'm going to do it from the get-go. Good times right along. Single person, 145. Couples, 225 per day. If you look at you can't hardly go to a motel room, much less, being on a boat. And food's provided. I love to cook, so your food are provided, but not for restaurants. If we go out, that's, additional. You get what you want. These are things that you'll learn to drive the boat. You'll learn to dock the boat, how to navigate. And I say it's the experience of a lifetime. If someone is thinking about even contemplating to doing the loop, you'll have the full forward cabin. Come right along and you'll get a real world experience of what this thing is all about. So I hope to sell them, several of them. And if you are interested in that, shoot me emails and it'll start pretty much on a first come, first serve basis to mike@michaeljsteen.com. And let me just pin that in the comments right quick. Send me an email telling me you're interested in that, and we're going to start lining that up right from the get-go. All right, so let's remove that. Anything I'm missing here, Arthur?
No. Now, last year, something you tried was having gas buddies. Are you going to try that again this year? I mean, granted, you don't
Great
have quite
question.
the audience that you had last year, but I mean, you still got people supporting you.
Yeah. So here's what I planned on doing. I only planned on having the truck with me to drive up when I get started. I planned on leaving Chesapeake, leaving the truck in Chesapeake, going up to Chesapeake, down to Delaware, all the way up to past Jersey to Sandy Hook. Then I planned on trying to get back to my truck, whether it's fly or whatever I do, and move my truck up there. And the major reason I'm doing that is A, to get it a little closer north if some craziness was to jump off, because man, nowadays you just never know. But number two is when I'm up in that area, I'd like to take the small boat out Long Island Sound while I'm there and to do a little bit of fishing, some exploring for a few days. But after that, I planned on leaving it in that area. Part of the reason behind that was to give you more of a sense of how most people do it. So no, I won't have the ability to. I will use gas buddies if people want to come along the way, and I meet up. That's probably going to happen pretty easy at Erie Canal because there's a lot of little towns you can stop in, and there's probably quite a few followers in that area. But as a general rule, it's going to end up being marina cost. At this year, at this time, I expected to be somewhere around $7 a gallon. And for those that don't know, Good Times gets about a gallon to the mile or a mile to the gallon. So, yeah, that's a challenge. Ventures, happy of ours, working for fuel. I hear that. Thank you for showing up. Hey, Jules, made months
Now,
ago for Desuro. Go ahead.
yeah, I'll
Go
say,
ahead.
Don, as far as your parts, Don Pulam was mentioning that there are junkyards north of Tampa. Have you been able to reach out to any of those for your parts?
So here's the deal. Here's the deal about that. In much consideration about that, let me tell you this. Let me tell you a story. I needed a heat exchanger, and I called Don Salvage. If you've been in the Central Florida area, Don Salvage, you've heard of them. They're a big boat salvage. And this is par for the course for every one of them I've dealt with. And I called and I said, hey, I got this heat exchanger off of $350 the year, whatever. He's like, oh, yeah, we got him. Come on down. I'm like, oh, man, cool. That was too easy. I drive over there, a few hour drive over there. Yeah, he's got heat exchangers, but they ain't for what I need. They could be for anything. These particular parts that I'm talking about, I'd venture to say on the entire boat, these couple parts, I'm talking about the struts and this reduction gear, there is no room for error. There is absolutely, that could end my season over trying to save a few $100. So this is where my thinking was, talking with my buddies that's very experienced in this stuff. So let's say I found a deal, or what I thought was a deal, which it ain't going to be much less than half price. I drive over there, I get it. I go all the way up to North Carolina or Chesapeake, and it's not the right one. Or it's not as good as it was, mentioned to be, or all the 10,000 things that can happen. And then I've told all y'all that I'm going, and now I'm in a freaking predicament. I don't want to spend the money, but when I look at things like being able to get this thing done, I'm just going to have to do it. I don't really have a choice. I was going a while ago and I got off the subject. It's going to push me back a couple of weeks because, I'm sure some people are going to help out. I don't know to what degree, but I took on another job, which is at least a 2-week job. So from where I was normally talking about leaving in the second week of April, I've signed that job, and that will make me comfortable to cover these costs so that I know when I get up there, I should have some good stuff, right? And I'm not, getting up there and then I'm in more of messing them up. Because you got to realize you pretty much got one shot to put this stuff on and it to work. Because when they haul you in, put you into the water, it's another $300 to $500+ depending on where you are to haul you back out if you were wrong. So it's a pretty big deal. It's a pretty big deal. Let's see.
Okay, and quickly, for the mug club, there was a question in the comments. To join the mug club,
Okay.
all you have to do is purchase a mug at michaeljsteen.com, correct?
That's correct. Yep.
Okay.
Just go on michaeljsteen.com. Yep. I'm thinking about doing, last year I offered t-shirts and everything. I found out last year that it's really hard to do all that when I'm on the boat, having family members doing it. So what I'm probably going to do is do one big sale weekend coming up, because I have a lot of t-shirts that I have in stock. They're actually behind me. I thought about just doing a blowout sale, raising some money with those t-shirts, and then to be honest with you, keeping quite a few for giveaways. So I think that'd be some goodwill on the trip. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. All right. Mountain Man Jim Reddick, I see him in the house there. Let's see. I'm reading over here, reading the comments. You see anything here? Let's see. $7 p.m. on the East Coast. Ever ready? Let's see. Ever ready or not? Like that name. That's interesting. What's up, John? Hopefully you heard. And this thing too is the only downside to this thing is it's delayed to a regular YouTube channel. It's delayed by, I think, a minute or two, something like that. All right. Cabal, what's happening, Bud? Dean, what's happening? Low Ready.
Thank you, Jay Hen. Your buddy Jay Hen is always on spot with those supers. So I want to make sure that he's noticed as soon as it pops up.
Thank you, Jay Hen. Yeah, I do appreciate that. That guy right there, man. He always is. He's the best. He always is. I appreciate that, Jay. Clyde. Dean, Jerry. Sugarloaf Key. It's down here, ain't it? Somewhere. Reddick, Florida. Yep. All right. Let's see. You were already down there. I'm reading some of the comments you read. Definitely meetups, guys, all along the trip. You know what I say when I get underway, when I start approaching your area on the lives. Of course, for those that came in late, I will be doing lives every day that I'm moving, like I always have. We'll live stream as much of the trip as possible. And then Mug Club on my days that I'm not moving, your Mug Club members, you'll get a live, which is a little more fewer people, so you can definitely get your questions answered. But yeah, meetups, I'm pretty good about that. I'll tell you, for me, the trip, that's what the trip's about, is meeting folks and hearing their stories. And I've met a lot of cool people already, and they end up showing up on here. And even John Ravenwolf on here. John, I meant to say that to you when we were texting early. John makes Indian drums, and I'm planning on stopping by on my way up, get a little video on that, because John was in a video, will be in a video from last year. And I just want to mention that's pretty cool. I've never seen anybody, but I always tell people, whatever your superpower is, I'd like to meet up with you. It ain't got to be about boats, whatever it is that you do. And if it's something I can make a video about, I think that's super cool. And the audience seems to enjoy that. So,
yeah. John's from North Carolina too, isn't he?
Yes. Yep. He's over on the coast.
Okay. I thought so.
Did Jack get it? More Mug Club, just go to michaeljsteen.com. Uh, good question, Tommy. Adventures, a happy of ours. I need to have you on here sometime. 145 a day. I think that's really good. If you look at any captain's service, or a day is way more than that. But this is 24 hours, including your food. And for anybody that wants to learn how to drive a bigger boat, dock a bigger boat, I'm going to give you the lowdown. If you've never done a trip of any to this size, or you are interested in doing the trip like this, you certainly can't get this kind of exposure at this kind of money. I'll assure you that. Just the freaking gas alone is more than that. But I'm not trying to get rich on anybody. I'm just trying to cover some costs this season so that I can make it as far. But that's a great question. I should have said that, and I'm gonna put it in my on that paper because I'll be showing that.
Well, you mentioned it earlier too. I mean, getting a hotel room for an adventure on your own is going to be close to that anyway. So you're spending $145 a night, or $225 for a couple, is way cheaper than going, or way better value, I should say, than having a hotel for 3 nights in Tampa or something.
Absolutely. Let's see. You get a complimentary beer. Hey, for you, absolutely. Yeah, come on along. There's a lot of y'all would love to see on Good Times. I think, we'd sit around, we'd have a great time. You'll obviously make it into some videos. I think that'll be fun. I think it'll be an absolute blast to have different personalities on the boat. I follow a few channels that do that. And certainly in the slow times, you know how it is, y'all that came along last year, when you're you're just out there trudging mile after mile. It gets a little boring after a while. So having some fun personalities will be great, and it'll just make for some really good YouTube, that's for sure. Yeah, Dean says he thinks it'll be $6 to $7. Man, I don't know where it's going to stop, but I hope it doesn't get any more than that. That's all I can say. I hope it doesn't get any more than that. Let's see. Eric's got a very good point. He says people need experience on their boats, sometimes even for insurance reasons. They need a captain, a licensed captain, which I am a licensed captain, and they usually charge $500 a day. That's absolutely right. I'm already underway. I'm already out there moving, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to get rich on anybody. This, Good Times ain't the newest boat out there, but it's a pretty solid boat, and it makes for a good time. I'll guarantee you the value is be well worth that money you spend, and you will be part. Another thing I didn't say, but it's on there, but you do get a T-shirt with crew along the back, and the crew T-shirts. I thought about doing them as an extra expense because of cost on the Mug Club, and y'all give me some feedback about that. But I definitely wouldn't want to let it out to any more than Mug Club members and people that actually come when you're wearing a crew shirt, because that meant you were crew. You really did, put in a lot of money or whatever to help it out. Tommy says adventures of happy hours. There's lots of free docking along the Erie, and that's what I'm looking forward to. That's really going to be cool. The Great Lakes, I'm super excited about getting into them. I've never done those before. That's going to be pretty cool. So I'm getting excited about going. I got a job that actually starts Monday, and then that other one, and then I'm done and I'm heading that way. Mountain Man knows this for sure. It's definitely for anybody that loves being on the water, it's a great ride along. It really is. Let's see. John. John talking about, John texted me earlier about looking the parts. The money miser in me says do that, but the practical person inside of me says if you do that, and something goes wrong, you don't get the exact thing, whatever, people are going to be really disappointed, including myself. You don't really realize probably there's a lot of pressure when you commit to doing something like this, because there's a lot of people counting on you to do it, especially when they're helping out financially. And trust me, I don't take that lightly. That's why I said I will work for fuel. It's something I love. It's a labor of love, no doubt, but there is a lot of pressure there. Don't think there's not. Let's see. Nova Scotia, backcountry pipe. Man, yeah, Cabal says need to stock up on fish. I wish, or gas, I'm sorry. I don't know any other way to carry it other than, the 5 gallons. I mean, I'll do that as much as I can. So as I'm moving up, if people want to come, certainly I'll do that, but I just won't have the ability with the truck. And it's going to be more like a regular trip, I think.
Well, and you can't stock up too for safety reasons. I mean, you can't put 50 gallons of fuel on the back of your boat because that's all the extra weight plus all that extra explosive on your boat. I mean, you'd be a giant firework back there if something bad were to happen.
Yeah, and you guess where my fuel tanks are? Any guess in the boat?
I'm not sure where they are on yours.
They're under my bunk. I sleep on my fuel tank. That's always a weird kind of feeling. But I mean, it's an older boat. That always a little concerning worrying about. I'm always glad when I don't have any smell of gas back there. Man, if you had a leak, oh, what a mess that would be. Middle Tennessee Pyro, what's up? Glad to see the slowly picking up when you get around Tennessee River. I'll definitely do a ride along. Awesome. Okay, guys, just FYI on the ride alongs, if that's something you want to do, you need to send me the email, and then I'll send you an invoice for 1 day. Because a lot of people say they're going to do something. And if I block out your time, I know this from cabinet business. If I block out your time on my schedule and then you back out, then I lost the ability to sell that time basically. So if you're interested, all I need is a day's deposit. And then if you can't go for a reason that, a very legitimate reason, you'll get your money back. If it's just you change your mind, then obviously I got to try to sell out that spot. So just FYI there on that. So
and you can reach Mike at mike@michaeljsteen.com. I put it back in the comments again.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. So guys, that's the update at this point. I'm trying to get a video out tomorrow. Trying to pick my best day. I thought Sunday was, but they weren't doing so well. And then I put that last one on Wednesday, and that one did really, really well. So I'm going to shoot for Wednesday put outs. So
just don't go for Thursday at 7 because that's my time slot.
Yeah. Now that's on our Facebook group. That's a little different too. Guys, FYI, what he's talking about is if you're into YouTube and you're doing a YouTube channel and you're actually doing it, we've started a Facebook group and we're going to try to grow it for content creators. And I think I think that'll be good. You can reach out to me if you're interested, and we're going to share some ideas in there. And there's some ways to help grow each person's channel that way. So if you're interested, just reach out to me at mike@michaeljsteen.com. Let's see. Jamie must came in late. Do you plan on making it happen this year? Absolutely. You can go back and watch this on the replay. That's what I'm discussing. I'm just giving an update. And I'm probably actually going to go ahead and go down this week. I told you I have that other propeller. I'm just going to go see if by chance they can straighten that one. But I just got a feeling I'm going to have to just find 2 newer, used, not new, because new, they're $1,200 for the pair. So,
Well, I would think they're like wheel bearings, right? You don't just replace one; you replace them both.
possibly it depends. I mean, you definitely want same sized, like an 18 by 18. 18, the first is the size, and then the other 18 is the pitch. So you certainly wouldn't want to switch any of those up. But there's a lot of used ones on there, but these are 18 by 18s, inch and a quarter shafts. So I'll go in there and look, and I'll see 18 by 18, but it's like an inch and 3/8 shaft, or it's an inch and a half shaft, and so it won't work. So, okay, guys, that'll end up this live stream here. Y'all check out my co-host here, Kayak 7 Seas, on his channel. Show him some love. I'll be probably doing another one and another live stream in a week or so, giving another updates on if anything major happens. And of course, as we get closer, really another 2 to 3 weeks, I'm then only a couple weeks out. And then I'll do even more live streams letting you know what's happening, because I know there's a few people want to maybe meet up when I first get up there, and that'll be cool because I'll have some work to do. And anyways, yes, the season is on, even with these crazy gas prices. I've thought several times about holding off, but then here's the problem. It's going to cost me $300 something a month from last month. They just raised it from $250 to $300. So what if I said, you know what, I'm going to stay another year and wait for the gas prices to go down? And how far are they going to go down if they did? Well, I'm paying $300 and something a month for what, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months. So if you calculate that into the cost, I might as well go and just go as far as I can go. Yep. Like he said in Titanic, I'm gonna be on God's good graces. That's all I can say. But anyways, Arthur, you got anything else, brother?
No. To recap, though, how far do you hope to go on this leg of the trip? I mean, granted, gas prices might slow you down a little bit to where you can actually go, but what is your end game for this leg?
I think it's a good question. I know some people came in late. So I'm in the Chesapeake right now at the very bottom, actually Chesapeake, Virginia. I'm going to go up to Chesapeake Bay all the way to the top, back down the Delaware River, go up the coast, up past Jersey, into Sandy Hook. I want to stay there about a week, go out on Long Island, do some fishing and some experiencing out there. I got that new drone, so I think that's going to help really cool with some of that stuff. Then up the river from there all the way up to, I guess, Albany, turn left into the Erie Canal, work my way all the way down in through the Great Lakes, up and down Michigan, down to Chicago. I want to make it at least that far. And by then, based on what the gas prices are, people coming to ride along, whatever, I'll be able to determine what's going to happen then. So I don't know exactly, but I'm pretty close to 2,000 miles that'll be this season. So I hope to do that in about 4 to 5 months, depending upon if cold starts coming in behind me. You know what I mean? So there's some unknowns, but that's how far I hope to get this season. I have other ideas, and a lot of people know about them, but possibly some other boats, possibly selling good times in some lakes off the rivers there, possibly doing in a little different kind of boat that maybe just showing other possibilities to people. Like I've bought a boat of 23 in a little cuddy cabin in Connecticut and brought it down to Florida by water. That took 2 weeks. So I thought about doing that for the following season if I sold good times, but all that is speculation. I just don't know yet. There's all possibilities. What I do want to show people is all the possibilities of doing the Great Loop. So if this is something that you want to do, you can kind of, see it, I guess.
You can do it on a budget. You just can't do it all at one time. And that's
Right.
and one unique thing that you're doing is you're live streaming a lot of the trip too, so people can get an idea what they should expect.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, as far as I know, I'm still the only one live streaming, so I'm sure it'll catch on in time. But I have got some improvement stuff for the live stream this year. So this software is going to be really cool for live streams. Like when I stop and I'm able, y'all remember last year when I would do like a live at 5, I would try to go out and show you the area. Well, with this software that we're using now, this was a big deal. I'll be able to put up the drone before the live stream, load that video into this software, and then kind of show you the area. So I think it's just going to be excellent. I think it's going to add to the trip. So I'm going to leave it with this. I appreciate everybody helping. Spread the news, spread the fire, as I like to say. Let people know about what we're planning and what we're going to do. And I would like to grow the channel. Obviously, it opens it up to more people. So if you know of anybody that you think might like something like this, spread my name out there, and then we'll go from there. Arthur, I appreciate you co-hosting.
Appreciate you having me.
Cool. Yep. Yeah. And then with that, we're going to see y'all next time. If you have any comments that you missed, put them in it's going to do the replay. You can put them in there, and I'll try and I'll answer them. I'll have a little more time to answer them. So with that, guys, y'all have a great evening.